Hello, welcome to my preview of F1 2019 round 15 Singapore Grand Prix, the night race, which is now in its 11th year. It's only 11 years ago that we had the first night race. It feels just like yesterday, to be honest. And yeah, so just to recap, last two Grand Prix have both been won by Ferrari. Charles, and not just Ferrari, Charles Leclerc, and those are Ferrari's first wins of the season, which is astounding given the fact they were so dominant in pre-season testing, and it's now only round 13 and 14 that they've won their first two Grand Prix of the season. Hamilton gave Leclerc a good run for his money in the Italian Grand Prix, because if you looked at a single lap pace, Ferrari should have been long gone into the distance, especially with their speed advantage on the straights. But again, their time management is not as good as Mercedes, and I mean the race pace of the Mercedes is far better. And Hamilton nearly had the opportunity to overtake and take the lead. And like I said in the review of that, Leclerc, very, very controversial, I'd say, in his defending. I'd say controversial. I think is some of it was out of order, because it could have quite easily caused a 200-mile-an-hour accident. So, but yeah. So recap on Singapore last year, and it was one of qualifying. You saw probably the perfect lap, one of the perfect laps in the Singapore Grand Prix ever. Then again, one of the perfect laps in Formula One ever by Lewis Hamilton. If you go through and go back, look it up on YouTube. If you looked at YouTube, you would see every corner perfect in the apex, perfect on the exit, right? No wheel spin whatsoever, literally on the limit, right? And it had to be, because the Mercedes was not fast around Singapore that season, so everyone was astounded how he managed to get pole 3 tenths clear of the Ferraris. And people said, well, yeah, they had it in them. Even the team principal of Mercedes, Toto Wolff, was gobsmacked. And it's not acting. That was proper reaction. So, and he managed the race to perfection, making everyone go slow to make the tyres last, and slow enough so that they kept in touch with the back eight, so that way no one could make an advantage by pitting early, because they'd fall back into midfield and stuck in traffic. So he judged the race to perfection. And so yeah, a bit about Singapore. I'll do about news first, actually, because there's one breaking news that's come out, is that Kubica has come out and said that he is leaving Williams at the end of the season. He's been thoroughly beaten by his teammate, let's be honest. I'm not going to say that's because of his disabilities. That's not fair. I just think George Russell's a faster driver than Kubica was, but then it's been an astounding achievement for Kubica to get back into Formula One. One of the fairy tale stories, heroic stories. I would say it's on the level of Niki Lauda, of his story, but definitely a real achievement, and he can look himself in the mirror and be proud of how he's managed to do that, because he never thought he'd make it back, and he stated that coming back to Formula One is one of his life's achievements. So yeah, good luck to him in the future. Just don't take up another rally and driving experience. So Singapore is one of the most demanding races of the season. 61 laps of about a 1 minute 30 per lap. It's about 2 hours straight, especially when it was the cars of like 2010, 2011 when they were a lot slower, and even 2014 when they were slower than that. Yeah, so it's intense heat, and it means focus is intense, because it's like Hamilton described it as Monaco on steroids. Not even a joke. Monaco on steroids. By the size of the circuit and the fact that the barriers are never are like Monaco. You make a mistake, the chances are you're in a barrier. So yeah, so cockpit, and with the heat as well, it just makes it so much worse. Cockpit temps can reach up to 50 degrees in the car. Body temperatures will reach fever pitch during the race of about 41 degrees. Now, if you have a fever, that would be your sort of temperature. Then someone's asking you to, whilst you're in that, like having a fever, to jump in a Formula One car and drive it around a circuit where if you get a mistake wrong, you're in a barrier. Doesn't sound real, but that's what they go through, and it's where they definitely lose. They lose up to about 2 to 3 litres of fluid whilst during the Grand Prix. And it's not just them that suffer. Mechanics suffer in the heat with all the fireproof gear. Yes, and being able to focus on the pit stops, making sure they're perfect on their pit stops as well. So they have to make sure they lose about a litre of fluid during the Grand Prix whilst being in action in the Grand Prix and every session. So yeah, it's intense for everyone on in the paddock, on every team. So yeah, definitely where they earn their money, definitely. So Ferrari, though they've won the last 2 Grand Prix, they'll struggle. I feel they'll struggle because they've got a low downforce car in a high downforce circuit. So I don't see them fighting for first or pole position in this race. Straight line speed doesn't matter here. It doesn't. So if anything, it would be between Mercedes and Red Bull. I actually probably tip Red Bull, to be honest. Yes, Mercedes won the Monaco Grand Prix, which is like a smaller version of this. But Red Bull won only 3/10 off, and they had a few sort of problems with the car in terms of balance. They've sorted that out since. So I do feel they'll be literally on the same level as Mercedes. So calling between the two of them who wins this Grand Prix is going to be very difficult, but I do feel it's going to be a heated battle between Mercedes and Red Bull. So probably a big battle between Verstappen and Hamilton, like we saw in Hungary. Hopefully Hamilton does what he usually does with Verstappen and wins the battle. So yeah, so my prediction, obviously, top 3. I'd go Hamilton first. No, I won't. No, because I tip Red Bull. It's such a close call. I tip Verstappen first, Hamilton second, because Hamilton's just been immense being on the podium. He's been on the podium every race since. Might have got that wrong, but double check that. So yeah, Verstappen first, Hamilton second, Albon third, not Bottas. I feel Albon will get his first podium this race. Now he's had to get all the penalties out of the way, and he can focus on getting a good qualifying, and definitely on a circuit that will favour Red Bull. I think his talent will be profound. And so, and a message to a friend of mine, right? Like I said, you should have known his sister. Because I know a friend of mine who actually went to the same school as Alexander Albon, so, and his sister. So there we are. That's his loss. But yeah, question for this preview, and I'll give the answer in the review. I'll try and find the most obscure questions possible, to see how everyone's F1 knowledge is. So my question for this Grand Prix, so I do it based on each Grand Prix, it's a new thing I'm doing, is what was the nickname of Turn 10 at the Marina Bay Circuit before the turn was adapted for the 2013 Singapore Grand Prix? What was the nickname given to Turn 10 before it was adapted for the 2013 Grand Prix? Or the only clue I will ever give, the only clue I'll give was that the corner used to be a 3-corner chicane, and it's something to do with the curbs, which is why I got his nickname. So I'll leave that with you guys, and I'll give the answer in my review. So yeah, that's my preview of the Grand Prix. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with my prediction for the top 3. Let me know your thoughts about Kubica leaving Williams this season, and I do think that will be the end of his F1 career. Yeah, let me know in the comments below, and I will be back with a review. Take care.